Michael Anfield here, and thank you for joining me. So today's video is a very important one, and I want to talk a little bit about teeth. Now, please excuse for this video quality. The quality probably is not the greatest because I'm using another device that I did once. It's a tablet, it's a newer device, but for some reason it doesn't take as good videos quality as our cell phone. Our cell phone is kind of up and down. We don't want to get a new one because it contributes to the destruction of the earth, contributes to just overall damage and more waste, more plastic and pollution, and raping of our precious earth. And yeah, so this is very important. This video may be lengthy, so please bear with me in this video. It may be really lengthy, so let's see how this is gonna go. So if you want to learn more, we're gonna have this extensive topic in The Way We Heal, the new book that we are still in the process of writing. There has been a lot of problems, and we just are doing it slowly, and so yeah, we just have to wait for that. So be patient with us in the meantime. And in the recent Mango Wadzak episode, you can check the video, previous video, or one of the videos anyways, because yeah, he passed recently, and it seemed that he had many problems with his teeth. And so that is the thing that I really want to talk about. So let's get to the subject here and forget about the introduction. Okay? So this is based on my experience and from what I see from other people. So basically from my experience and from what I've read and this kind of stuff. Now, by no means are people, all walks of life, virtually everyone in today's world, no one is out of teeth problems. Let me say this again. No one, virtually no one, because there's an exceptional few that have really perfect teeth. And I mean really perfect teeth. And if they don't have bad teeth, they will soon have bad teeth. So everyone has problems with their teeth. That's just the fact of life. But many people go to the dentist or to the orthodontist and they fix them. And temporarily, for some months or years or decades, their teeth are okay. But then that's when problems start happening. And why do we have teeth issues? What is the main number one cause of teeth issues? Well, there are many factors that come into play. And people are saying, come on, Mike, what is the main cause? Why do you have missing teeth? I keep forgetting I need to look there. Why do you have missing teeth? Well, I tell you something. I decided not to go to the dentist to get it fixed. So I rather just let nature take her course. I rather that somehow I just figures it out. Maybe regrows teeth or somehow becomes stronger. But I noticed that my teeth have become stronger overall. Certain teeth. Because at certain occasions I did bump into my teeth with glasses, with so many things. I've used my teeth in the past for opening things and all kinds of stuff, for tightening things, for opening tight bags, or whatever the case may be. I was opening my teeth. I was using my teeth for many different things. Um, Eating the wrong things, cookery, animals, animal secretions, processed, heavily processed stuff that I shouldn't be eating, this kind of stuff. So everybody has damaged teeth. That's just how it is. So live up to it. Just eat whatever you want, and that's it, right? Wrong. Unfortunately, for the last many, many decades, many of us in their 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, hundreds, many people have just abused their teeth for many, many decades. Now, there are other factors that come into play, but the number one reason is simply eating cookery. That's the main cause, is eating cooked meals. Anything that is cooked. May it be steamed vegetables, may it be steamed fruits, may it be a tea, or may it be whatever it may be, things that are not designed for our teeth. Our teeth are not designed to be consuming anything that is too hot or anything that is too warm. Even very warm water is not good for our teeth. Cold, very icy cold, or even relatively cold or mildly cold drinks is also not good for the teeth. So these are the two things. Cookery, eating anything or drinking anything that is too warm, too hot for the body. And even if we cook something, let's say like plantain chips. We cook a plantain chips, we put them in a bag, and we sell it. And it's not warm, it's not heated, but it was heated at some point, causes problems. Because they're not natural foods. No biological wild creature that lives in nature, lives in the wild jungle or wild forest, wherever in the world, none of them eat cookery. None of them eat cooked meals. Of course, none of them use a tablet or a phone, but that's a different story. But this is particularly pertaining to teeth, okay, to health issues. No animal in nature eats cooked meals. Not even a lion, not even a jaguar, not even any other wild cat or wild carnivorous animal. No one consumes anything cooked. If they eat something cooked, maybe it was cooked a little bit by the sun, like the dead flesh of animals. Vultures come, and maybe that was a little bit cooked and putrefying and all this kind of thing. That's kind of the only exception, maybe. Or maybe if there's a fruit that is fermenting, or vegetable fermenting, or some compost, some animal will go there and eat whatever's there. So those are probably the only exception. And of course, the domesticated animal, which is a different story. So cookery is the number one cause of the problems. Eating anything hot, anything cold, and also hot food, eating hot food and then drinking something cold afterwards, that's a problem. And then again, hot, cold, hot, cold. So that changing in temperature of the teeth is problematic. Now, we may look silly with our missing teeth, but that's just because, of society, vanity, and beauty industries say, hey, you need everything to be perfect. You need your shirt to not look like this. Um, you need to wear clothes. You need to be fashionable. You need to have your hair and your beard. You have to chop your beard. You have to chop your, make everything presentable. Comb your hair and this and that. It's all the beauty and fashion industries tell people what to do. And if you don't look like next supermodel, you're nobody. You're a nobody. But really, we are somebody because we have a body. We are somebody. We have a body. Okay. Sorry, body, for hitting you. But in any case, teeth issues are from eating cookery, mostly. Now, there are other causes of factor that cause teeth issues. It could be things get stuck in between because look, listen, we're born into this world, most of us in hospitals or clinics. Even if we're home birth, that's a little different thing. But in hospitals and clinics, um, and when we grow up, um, yeah, we just don't have perfect teeth. It's from genetics. It's also from eating on unrightly things, and so things get stuck in between the teeth. And brushing has all kinds of problems attached to it. Dr. Douglas Graham doesn't brush his teeth, from my understanding. I never seen him brush or not, so I cannot vouch. But from what I heard, so these things can lead to problems. I mean, no one that is truly biological animal in nature is brushing their teeth. No one, for that matter. Only domesticated animals, like dogs, maybe cats. We're told that we have to brush their teeth and all this kind of thing. But no animal that's not domesticated has bad teeth. Every animal in nature has almost entirely perfect teeth, unless they don't have teeth, unless they're one of those animals that are teethless. Um, but anyways, every animal that has teeth has perfect teeth. That's just how it is. And every non-domesticated animal has perfect teeth. Why is that? Because they're living holistically. They're living holistically. Holistically means to get away from artificial environments and to go into natural environments as much as possible. So living in nature, living in the tropical nature, living in warm climates, away from cell and radiation as much as possible. So no cell towers, um, no Wi-Fi towers, um, uh, no Wi-Fi radiation, not using these screens that much. So a lot of things to live, emotions more in balance, um, very little, if no anger or emotional issues. So these kind of things like holistically healing. We're going to be talking about this more in The Way We Heal. So stay tuned for that. I'll put the link in the description about The Way We Heal so you can learn more about that book. So holistically healing, that's the key. Being in nature, gardening, putting our hands in the soil, our feet in the soil, getting sun all on our body. So not wearing these artificial clothing, unless it's cold, of course. But in the tropics, usually it rarely gets cold. Maybe when it rains a little bit, maybe during the night or very early morning, it gets a little bit cool. That's when you put some clothes on and stuff. But otherwise, um, we're not meant to be wearing clothes. We're not meant to be walking around with clothes. We're meant to be in the sun without any cream on our skin, exposed to the sun. And that's it. Our whole body is exposed to the sun. Barefoot as much as possible, doing what we can. Of course, it's not possible to do this when we're going to the towns or we're going to cities. And, we just have to put clothes on and most likely shoes and things like that. But as much as possible, let the feet to let the feet to breathe, let the body breathe. So no makeup, no piercings, no tattoos, because the body can't breathe with all this artificial stuff on our skin. No animal in nature uses tattoos, has tattoos or wears makeup or perfume or creams or lotions or things like this. And they're healthy. They live their natural lives. But what happens? If you put an animal from nature in an unnatural setting, they their health starts to decline. Absolutely starts to decline. I'm not saying I'm perfect and I'm doing everything the way I'm preaching. No way. It's difficult. We have addictions, we have cravings, we have all sorts of things. So it's true. And I'm not saying that fruitarians or eating fruitarians or raw vegans are going to live long, healthy lives. But more likely, yes, if they incorporate holistic health, holistic healing. Holistic means to take the whole of things. Holistic. Okay? I will put the definition probably in the video, but holistic, or at least in the description, but holistic healing. And if I don't, remind me. Holistic healing is what it's all about. It's really about seeing the big picture. It's about, hey, we need to take a look at all aspects of health. All aspects of health, not just diet. People think, oh, but diet is the biggest thing, and if you take care of that, then you're taking care of most of the problems. And that's not true. Radiation, by far, can be even more detrimental. It's, depends on how you use the radiation and how much of radiation you're exposed to, this and that, and what type of radiation. For example, X-ray radiation is one of the most toxic. Radiation, chemotherapy, and all this kind of thing too. That's why when we are exposed to this, doctors usually run to another room, especially when it comes to X-ray radiation. They run to another room because they don't want to be exposed to the radiation, because it's very, very harmful. So, radiation can be more harmful to oneself, especially 4G, 5G, this kind of stuff. Cell towers, electricity towers, Wi-Fi from routers and modems. That is why it's best to always connect with Ethernet cables as much as possible to uh, turn off the modem and router whenever we can. So that's the thing. If you ever able to get a timer, put a timer on and use the internet maximum of 8, or keep the router on, I should say, the router and modem on, maximum of 8 to 10 hours per day. The rest is for resting and sleeping and taking it easy. I'm not saying that we should use the internet 8 or 10 hours a day, each day. I'm just saying that the router or modem should be on no more than 8 or 10 hours a day. And to use the internet probably, and the router and these devices probably no more than 4 to 6 hours daily, if that, and even to take some days off without using these devices. And I mean completely off, and putting them in another room and this kind of thing. So shutting them off, putting them in another room, and just turning away at least 1 or 2 days a weekly, that we should take time away from these devices. I do this as much as possible. I use it almost every single day, but some days very little compared to others, like just a few minutes. Sometimes I don't use it at all. So that's why things are going more slowly than I anticipated, because I'm using these devices much, much less. So teeth issues, I just mentioned basically the main causes of them. Also health in general. We need to be living in nature. We need to be holistically healing. We need to be, I don't know, I mean, just living differently than other people are living. Eating fruit. Fruit is by far the best thing that we can eat, but not just any fruit. Fruit that has, it's basically the fruit is flesh surrounded by a seed. So even though like bananas don't have seeds anymore, and other types of fruits like breadfruit or tobacco or things like this don't have a seed. By the way, pineapples have seeds. They're little, very, very small small kind of brownish kind of seeds. They have seeds. Okay. Sorry, the late Mango Wadzak, they have seeds. So, yeah, so fruit is anything that has a seed surrounded by flesh, right? So, not all fruit can be eaten raw. There are some like Chontaduro that absolutely cannot be eaten raw. You can, but it's probably not healthy and probably make some ill health effects. There are some fruits also that shouldn't be eaten just like that, like hot peppers. So that kind of thing. Um, if we eat fruit ripe, as ripe as possible, I'm not saying moldy or fermented, but if we eat fruits as ripe as possible, that is better. Yeah. So ripe can mean different things for different fruits. For example, a Mame apple, or Mame americana, basically is a type of tropical fruit that is eaten hard. So people think, oh, fruits all need to be soft when you eat them. That's not that's not correct. This fruit has to be eaten soft. If you eat it, hard. If you eat it soft, even slightly soft, uh, it doesn't taste good. It's not good anymore. It's gone. You can just compost that and throw the seed out to nature or plant the seed. Um, but not all fruits have to be eaten soft. Okay, but most are. So we need to know when they are soft. When they are ripe. For example, bananas are not ripe when they're yellow with some green on it. That's not how it is. Even green. Some people think, oh, it has to be very, very yellow, a little bit hard, and with some greens on the tips of the banana. And that's not true. Now, the best bananas have to be flat. More like I shouldn't say flat. I'm saying like it shouldn't be curved. It should be kind of more straight and thick. Okay, so all the bananas, all plantains should be straight, more straight, or I should say more plain or straight, and not curved. And they should be yellow. Many bananas are spotty, so you'll know that they're ready when they have spots. And they're not brown inside. They're kind of yellowish white inside. Plantains are a little bit different. They're more ripe. Same thing what I said before about the shape and size. When they become, straight, not curved, and when they are um, yellow but very soft. When they're starting to turn black and they're very squishy soft or very black, all black, they're gone. Some people like it like that, but it's, I think, too fermented. So when it's yellow and very squishy, not squishy like smashed, but soft, but yellow and starting to get a little bit black, that's when it's ripe. Okay. So if you notice that it's still a little bit starchy or still a little bit hard, it's not ripe. Okay. What else to say? So eating fruit, especially hydrating fruit in the whole form. So if you take an orange, you eat the orange, that is the best thing. But of course, because humans are toxic, humans are not healthy. Everybody is detoxing. Everybody is either detoxing or suppressing the symptoms. We're all unhealthy. We all have a lot of mucus inside of ourselves. Mucus actually helps. If you don't have mucus in the body, you die. So everybody has mucus, no matter if they think so or not. If you don't have mucus in the body, you die. Unless you're completely healthy, perfectly healthy, you don't have mucus. But otherwise, the typical person has mucus. If they expel it from their nose or not, they have mucus. Or their throat, they have mucus. Now, how to tell that you have mucus is that when we eat something that is not designed for our bodies, biologically designed for our bodies. So if we're not eating fruit, ripe fruit, It's not biologically designed for our bodies. We cannot eat potatoes raw because it's not biologically designed for our bodies. How do I know this? Well, most humans, for that fact, I have that experience eating a potato, and it's not a pleasant experience. Now I can eat yuca or cassava, I can eat taro, but truly these things are not for our bodies. In fact, you cannot eat them as a whole meal without cooking them. That's just how it is. And so that's not our biological food. So fruit is the key. But if we're so toxic, we need to flush out our system. And so we need maybe some juices. So fast juicing is not the key. It's really about slow masticating juicing. So that is the key. In fact, it's better to take the fruit and squeeze it into our mouths, but that's not practical, right? So juicing is by far the best. Long-term juicing. I'm not saying going fanatic. I think more than a month is like crazy for juicing. So less than a month for juicing. Um, and I would say don't do just one type of fruit. Do a variety of different fruits. Okay? But don't mix fruits that are not the same category as another fruit. For example, don't mix watermelons with cucumbers, or watermelons with pitahaya, or watermelons with oranges. Watermelons and other melons have to be kept on their own. Okay? So if you're drinking watermelon juice, just watermelon juice. If you're drinking orange or citrus, just oranges or citrus combined. Okay? And I don't recommend drinking um, lemon juice or things like this, or lime juice. It's not practical. Or even grapefruit juice. I don't recommend it. Um, I'm not gonna talk anymore about what specific things to eat and what not to eat. But anyways, the whole thing is about teeth issues. Okay, so by far the number one thing is cookery. Get rid of cookery completely, and you'll have no problem whatsoever. But there's another thing. Once someone starts to incorporate more fruit, they need to realize that the food that we're buying from the supermarkets, from the local markets, wherever you're buying your fruit from, is not ideal. If the fruit is grown with a lot of chemicals, it's non-organic, um, a lot of spraying, a lot of things, they're not optimal, and our teeth can be compromised because of it. Many fruitarians and raw vegans talk about how they had teeth issues, negative health issues with their teeth because of eating unripe fruit. So make sure you're eating fruit as ripe as possible and understanding each particular fruit and how we're supposed to be eating them ripe. Now, sometimes it's absolutely not possible, even if you grow your own fruit, not possible to eat them completely ripe. And sometimes it's hard to tell, even on the outside, when they're fully ripe. For example, sometimes maracuyas, which is a kind of a sour passion fruit, it's a yellow one. Sometimes they're purple. Um, Sometimes they're hard to tell. For example, ripe ones should be completely yellow or completely purple. Now, the purple ones are very hard to come by. They're kind of rare, but usually they're yellow or orange. Sometimes a little bit orange, but usually yellow. And they have to be very, very soft to the touch, okay, before they're ripe. And sometimes they get moldy before because it's not picked at a good stage. And yeah, so this kind of thing. We just need to know when to pick fruit ripe, and sometimes it's not completely possible. And so nowadays it's just not possible. I think also another problem is that people are what they call overeating. People are just eating way too much food, and we're not supposed to be. We're supposed to be most for the most part, humans are supposed to be very, very, very slim. Very, very, very slim. Skinny, skinny beings. You see in nature, truly in nature, okay, there are one type of being, okay? Now, from my understanding, observing nature, of, observing natural free roaming animals, I see two things. No naturally free roaming animal, truly naturally free roaming animal. I don't mean a lion in a cage somewhere in a circus. I'm talking about truly naturally free roaming animals in nature, in their biological habitat. No animal, none of those animals are fat, overweight, and they don't have any health issues at all. Okay? Put them in an unnatural setting, and they have all the health issues similar to humans. Okay? So, why is that? They're not skinny. Sorry, they're not the fat. Why? Because they're eating the right things that they're supposed to be eating, and they're not over excessively eating according to their what they call um, that sensation that, oh, we had enough to eat. No, people usually overeat and eat so much that they get sick from that. You know, and I know because I've done it many times. Yeah, countless times. So overeating is also another problem. Living in cities and towns and exposed to all kinds of radiation, again, that's problems. Um, Unhealthy relationships, that also causes ill health. Basically, when you have teeth issues, you have a whole body issue, health issue, ill health. Okay, so teeth issue is just I didn't even want to talk about teeth issue because it's really not about teeth issues. It's about holistically holistic health. Okay, it's about dis-ease. Now, what do they mean by dis-ease? Is that the ease? It's a unease of the body. So the body is in some pain, basically. Either it's screaming or it's not screaming. So screaming is when you have physical pain that you can feel, and it's like, pain, right? But pain that we don't feel is pain, or pain that is not screaming, is like the one that we're suppressing, the mucus, the pain, internal pain, this kind of thing. Some people might think, oh, you lost your teeth and you don't know anything about it because you don't have good teeth. But look at that person with their beautiful teeth, and she says she never went to the doctor, or she says she eats all kinds of cadaver and secretions. And it's like, did you live with them? Do you know anything about them? Even if we lived with them, sometimes they go out, and who knows what they do outside. So even living with them is not proof. You need to be them in order to have the proof. And even they lie to themselves and say, oh, I'm so healthy and I do this and I do that. And truly, they don't do that. In fact, I abuse my body, and I can say that. I eat cookery, and I'm a cookery addict. I can say that because that is the truth. Okay? And truly, I shouldn't say I'm an addict. I'm not an addict because I don't eat it every single day. And when I do eat it, I don't eat it 2 or 3 times a day. Sometimes when I go to the city, I will eat a big, huge meal with vegan bread and all kinds of processed stuff. Sometimes once in many, 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 many months or years even. But in any case, I just want to say that I'm not perfect. I know I have a lot of flaws. Everybody has flaws. We're all doing things that truly we don't feel that is healthy. But don't say you're healthy when everybody's not healthy. Oh, I'm healthy. I'm healthy. Yeah, I'm healthy. Okay. You may think you're healthy, but truly deep down, nobody is healthy. If you were not living in nature, completely unexposed to civilization. If you're part of the city, if you're part of towns or cities, or if you're part of society, even if you're living in nature, but you're buying your food from the cities, or even if you're living in nature and you're eating cadavers, animal flesh, and you're eating the secretions of animals, you're not healthy. Yeah, you're not healthy. Especially if you're heating it up, you're not healthy. If you're using a toothbrush, you're not healthy. Yeah. If you have colds and flus once in a while, you're not healthy. Yeah. If you lose a little bit of air when you're doing some exercise, you're not healthy. Yeah. If you're living in an air-conditioned room, or if you're using air conditioning, you're not healthy. So nobody is healthy. Basically, 99.999999999% of the population is not healthy. The human population is not healthy. And also the domesticated animal population, meaning non-human animals, domesticated, are not healthy. Who else is not healthy? That plastic bowl over there is not healthy. Yeah. I don't know. It's ridiculous to be saying this kind of stuff. We're not holistically in our best. We're not living in nature. We're not exposed to radiation. And we're not eating just fruits. And we think, hey, fruitarians, it's because you eat fruit that your teeth are damaged. Ha 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 ha. Vegans, you're so toxic. What about protein? Come on, animals are being killed here. So stop this whining and crying and telling all these stupid, ridiculous things and asking ridiculous questions when we need to stop abusing animals, stop using them for anything, for food, for clothing, for entertainment, for testing, for pets, for whatever. Leave the animals the fuck alone. I can say that. Leave the animals the fuck alone. That's it. The non-human animals deserve to be in nature. Now, I say this in my book, Return to the Gentle Sea, for the love that lives in everyone, and also my newest one, The New Mother Earth, about pets, animal sanctuaries, and that kind of thing. So you can read them more to learn more about the pet and animal sanctuary information. But in the end, teeth issue has to do with our holistic health that we are dealing with. Okay, so if we are at all exposed to unnatural environments or unnatural settings or unnatural things, the more we're exposed to unnatural things, and unnatural means it doesn't come from nature. It's been manipulated in a laboratory or factory or something. So even though this tablet originally came from the earth, all the components, all the materials from this tablet came from either above or below the earth, surface of the earth. It's technically it came from the earth. It's not a natural product anymore. And so the further we go away from nature, the further we go away from the spirit, the sicker we get. That's just how it is. And no matter if someone is fruitarian, they can still be at that end path. But that's a good step. That's a good step. So here is the spirit. Here is nature. Okay? Here is cadavers, animal secretions, animal flesh, animal dead bodies of animals. Here is living in artificial environments in towns and cities. Here is exposed to radiation. If you become fruitarian, you go a little bit this way. But if we go fruitarian for the wrong reasons and we're exposing ourselves to more radiation and more of city life and more problems, mental and emotional problems and all this kind of thing, we are still somewhat behind. back at the start. So we want to go to the finish, which is really the start. This is actually the start. This is the finish. We're at the we're at the I should say the if you wanna look at it positive or negative, we're on the negative side, not the positive side. Of course, there has to be the both, but really it's about getting closer to the spirit, getting closer to unconditional love. Spirit is basically unconditional love. Nature is unconditional love. Our hearts are unconditional love. Everything is all about unconditional love. If you think about it, this video is all about unconditional love. It's about you and I and all the animals and nature. We are unconditional love and we are so amazing. Yeah. Okay, so getting just to the last bit of this video is that the further we get away from natural ways of living, the worse health we have. That's just how it is. So, teeth issue is about going closer to nature, going closer to the spirit, to unconditional love. And that means that it doesn't take just 2 weeks or 3 weeks or 5 weeks or months or even years. Sometimes it takes decades to repair what we have damaged. The longer we have been in unnatural living and unnatural lifestyles, the longer it takes to get back. That's just how it is. But once we start on the Eden fruitarian path, as Mango Wadzak says, the, we embrace when we embrace Eden fruitarianism and we start walking that direction, that is going closer to the spirit, to the unconditional love that we all desperately need. Because in the end, we are unconditional love. Humans are. All beings are. So, it's really all I want to say. So thank you for joining me. Don't forget to read my newest book, The New Mother Earth. And don't forget that it's coming out very soon this year sometime. If you want to help make the books that I write, Peaceful Village, Raw Vegan Healing Community, a reality, please help us in any way you possibly can. Volunteering, being a guest, donating, being a healing, partaking in our healing program, doing whatever you can, translating our books, doing whatever you can to help, get this message out to the masses of people, because this is really what is needed. So we really thank you for watching this video and taking the time to go all the way to the end of this video. And whatever you can do to help even further, let's do that. So thanks for joining me, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye, everybody, and until next time.